take us back to the roots of Indian automotive history. They've been a symbol of toughness, simplicity, and pure utility since the post-independence era, and their legacy continues even today. Let us rewind a little and start with the CJ series. The CJ stands for Civilian Jeep, originally derived from the Willys Jeep that served in World War II. Mahindra started assembling Willys Jeeps in India under license back in the late 1940s. Over time, these military-style Jeeps evolved into the CJ series for civilians, practical, versatile, and incredibly tough machines that could take on the roughest terrains with ease. The early CJ models, like the CJ3B, had that unmistakable flat front grille, round headlamps, and a boxy design that screamed utilitarian charm. Under the hood, they typically came with a 2.1-liter petrol engine or later, Mahindra's indigenized diesel motors. Power figures weren't sky-high, around 65 to 70 horsepower, but what made them stand out was their go-anywhere capability. 4x4 drivetrain, leaf spring suspension, high ground clearance. These were Jeeps built to conquer farms, forests, mountains, and muddy trails. As time progressed, Mahindra refined this classic design and functionality with the introduction of the MM series, which included the beloved MM540. The MM540 hit the roads in the early 1980s, and it brought with it a new level of rugged sophistication. While it still looked like a Jeep, it had improved design elements, rounded wheel arches, slightly better aerodynamics, and a more driver-friendly cabin. The MM540 was typically powered by a 2.1-liter or later a 2.5-liter diesel engine, mated to a 4-speed or 5-speed manual gearbox. It wasn't built for speed, it was built for durability and torque. The low-end grunt from the engine made it perfect for crawling through off-road trails, climbing rocky hills, or towing heavy loads in rural settings. The 4x4 variant was especially popular with off-road enthusiasts and in government services like forestry and defense. Now, let us talk about the ride experience. Compared to today's SUVs, the CJ and MM540 were bare bones. But that was their charm. No infotainment screens. No electronic aids. Just you, the road, and the machine. The steering was heavy, the ride bumpy, and the cabin noisy, but these Jeeps weren't about comfort. They were about connection between the driver and the terrain. The cabin featured basic vinyl seats, metal dashboard, analog gauges, and in some models, a floor-mounted 4x4 selector. Heating or air conditioning not standard. But owners loved them because they could be fixed with a spanner and a hammer. No complex electronics, just old-school engineering. One of the best things about the CJ and MM540 Jeeps was their modifiability. People customized them endlessly: roof chops, off-road tires, winches, snorkels, light bars, custom paint jobs, you name it. In fact, these Jeeps laid the foundation for India's off-roading culture, long before lifestyle SUVs became a trend. Today, you'll still find many of them at off-road events, hill station rallies, or even as restored collectibles. In rural India, the CJ and MM540 became a part of daily life. Farmers used them to transport goods. Local taxis ran them in rugged hill regions. Even police and paramilitary forces favored them for their reliability and low maintenance. They were the do-it-all machines before SUV became a buzzword. One thing to admire about Mahindra's approach was their decision to retain the Jeep's mechanical simplicity while improving practicality. The MM540 came with wider tires, better suspension tuning, and in some trims, optional hard tops or metal doors for added comfort and security. Still, the core of the vehicle remained mechanical and raw. Over the years, The MM540 gave rise to many successors like the MM550, CL340, and later the Commander and Classic series. Eventually, this DNA led to the development of the first-generation Mahindra Thar in 2010, a vehicle that took the legacy of the CJ and MM540 into the modern age, adding features like power steering, air conditioning, and ABS, things the old Jeeps never had but always deserved. Today, finding a CJ series or MM540 in good condition is like finding a piece of history. Many enthusiasts are restoring them to factory condition or modifying them for modern off-roading. These Jeeps have become cult classics celebrated not just in India, but among global Jeep lovers as some of the most authentic off-roaders ever built. Driving a CJ or MM540 today is like stepping into another era. You feel every bump, hear every engine note, and sense every corner of the trail. And that's what makes them so special. They're not about speed, luxury, or technology, they're about adventure, about raw driving, and about going where others can't. In a world of touch screens and turbochargers, the Mahindra CJ and MM540 remind us of a simpler time, a time when vehicles were tools, not toys. They taught Indian drivers the importance of self-reliance, of durability, and of trusting your vehicle when the road disappears. So, if you ever get the chance to drive a CJ3B or an MM540, don't miss it. It's not just a ride, it's an experience. It's history in motion. A living legacy of Indian engineering and the true spirit of 4x4 freedom. And that wraps up our look at the legendary Mahindra Jeeps, the CJ series and MM540. If you enjoyed this dive into automotive history, hit that like button, leave a comment with your favorite Mahindra Jeep memory, and don't forget to subscribe for more classic car reviews and stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.